Hello, baseball fans. King Ikibu coming to you live from the underground bunker deep beneath Tuktoyaktuk, where we're going to play today the championship game, Game 3 of the Texas Madness Tournament. All teams between 1980 and 1999 face off against one another in tournament format, and we have the final between 1980 and 1981. Game 3. Game 1 was won. It was on YouTube earlier this week. And it was the 1980s defeated the 1981s by a score of 2-1. Winning pitcher was John Matlack, his fourth win against no losses in this tournament. 2.57 ERA, leading candidate for the Koufax Award. And the losing pitcher was Danny Darwin, who's went 8 innings, gave up 2 runs, which is pretty good, but it wasn't enough because he only got 1 run in support. And the MVP of the game was Richie Zisk. Then in Game 2, Doc Medich versus Doc Medich. And in this game, the 81s jumped out to a 4-0 lead. The 80s came back and tied it in the 5th. Then the 81s took the lead in the 6-5-4 on a Jim Sundberg 2-out double. And then Buddy Harrelson had a 2-out single to tie the game at 5 in the 6th. Then in the 7th, the 80s took the lead for the first time in the game with a Johnny Grubb 2-out single, scoring Al Oliver. Richie Zisk got thrown out at home. And then in the top of the 8th, Mark Wagner hit a sacrifice fly that tied the game at 6. And then Bill Stein hit a 2-out single in the 8th to take the lead for the 81s, and they would hold that lead and they would even the series by a score of 7-6. Player of the game was Bill Stein for that winning run that he drove in the 8th inning. Winning pitcher was John Butcher of 1981. He had 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, and a strikeout. Losing pitcher was Steve Comer of the 80s. And the 81 Steve Comer got the save as Charlie Huff blew the save in the 8th inning. And so we have game number 3. And this will decide it. The deciding game. Starting pitchers for 1980. As you can see, the Hall of Famer, Fergie Jenkins, who's 1-0 and 2.25 in the tournament. He was 12-12 with a 3.77 ERA in real life. And in the 80s massive replay that I'm in 1986 now, playing every single game manually using NP3. He was 14-9 with a 4.06 ERA back in 1980. And he will face today Rick Honeycutt, who in this tournament is 2-0 with a 4.61 ERA. In real 1981, he was 11-6, 3.31, and in the 80s replay, he was 9-12 with a 2.88 ERA. This is the 9th seed versus the 2 seed, and someone in the comments made fun of NP3 because a 9th seed could get to the finals of the tournament. Well, if you know anything about sports history, it happens all the time. We don't have to look far back. We can just look back to the 2023 NCAA basketball tournament. We see that Florida Atlantic was a 9th seed. They got to the Final Four. And then in the NBA, we just saw the 8th seed in the East, who just barely got in the play-in game, got to the finals, the Miami Heat. We saw the 8th seed in the East, and 8th, there is no 9th seed because it doesn't go 9 seeds. The bottom seed is an 8th seed in hockey. In the 8th seed in the 8th, the Florida Panthers got to the Stanley Cup Finals. We saw the lowest seed in the National League last playoff, the Philadelphia Phillies, get to the World Series. So underdogs get there all the time. There's no reflection on baseball or basketball or hockey. They're all great sports, and low seeds get to the finals all the time. No reflection on the game at all. And it's all Texas Rangers. So, really the highest Texas Ranger, the 1 seed. If you look at the 81s, they're the 2nd seed. They're really not that much better than the 9th seed. They're all very close. And so really isn't any reflection on any game. I'm sure in out of the park baseball, you see upsets all the time. You see low seeds go on a winning streak. Teams that are under 500 go and win 9 out of 10 games. I'm sure it happens. Happens all the time in all games. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But let's get this game underway. Here in the third game, it's taking place July 31st, 1999. I'm just theoretically playing all these games in July of 1999 for whatever reason. But here's the lineup for this game number 3 for the 1980 Texas Rangers. Leading off, Bump Wills. He's playing second base, batting second. The center fielder, Mickey Rivers, batting third. The third baseman, Buddy Bell, batting fourth. The right fielder, Al Oliver, batting fifth. The designated hitter, Richie Zisk, batting sixth. The first baseman, Rusty Staub, batting seventh. The left fielder, Johnny Grubb, batting eighth. The catcher, Jim Sundberg, batting ninth. The shortstop, Buddy Harrelson. And of course, on the mound, Fergie Jenkins. For the 1981 Texas Rangers, leading off, the center fielder is Mickey Rivers, batting second. The right fielder, Billy Sample, batting third. The third baseman, Buddy Bell, batting fourth. The designated hitter, Al Oliver, batting fifth. The left fielder, Leon Roberts, batting sixth. The first baseman, Pat Putnam, batting seventh. The catcher, Jim Sundberg, batting eighth. The second baseman, Bump Wills, batting ninth. The shortstop, Mario Mendoza. And the starting pitcher for 1981, as we said, Rick Honeycutt. Here's the first inning. It's Bump Wills batting .333, 1 homer, 2 RBIs. And he gets a double six to start this game. He rolls a 24. That's going to be a double. Bump Wills starts the game off right for the 80s, looking to upset the 81s. With a leadoff double, here's Mickey Rivers. He's only batting .179 with a homer and 2 RBIs, but he's a great center fielder. And I didn't know Mickey Rivers had a great arm, but both in 1980 and 1981, I think he had a reputation for kind of a weak arm, so people challenged him and he threw out a lot of base runners. That's probably what happened in both seasons. So here is Mickey Rivers. Let's see what he can do with a man on second base. And he fouls out to the third baseman, Buddy Bell, for the first out. Here's Buddy Bell, the 1980 version. He has a 6 rating at third base, which is as good as you can get at that position. Here is the pitch to Buddy Bell. He is .250 with 3 homers and 9 RBIs. And he hits a home run. Home run for Buddy Bell, 1980. Puts the 80s ahead in the first inning by a score of 2-0. That's home run number 4. For Buddy Bell. Huge home run here in this championship game. Here's Al Oliver. He's batting .382 with a homer and 4 RBIs. And he flies out to right. Richie Zisk, who is probably the MVP for the 1980s, batting .432 with 2 homers and 3 RBIs with .447 on base, .676 slugging. And he grounds out. So after 1/2 of an inning, 2-0, 1980. Here's Mickey Rivers. He's batting .214. And he has a chance of an error. No error. 1 out. Billy Sample batting .333. No homers, 3 RBIs. Gets double threes. He has some home run possibilities. Not all that many. Mostly doubles. 64. He gets on with a double. But he has a chance because of the Fergie Jenkins to get a home run. First gatekeeper, 11-21. And he doesn't pass the first gatekeeper, so it remains a double. He's a fast runner. And here's the other Buddy Bell, batting .325 with 3 homers, 13 RBIs. If the 81s win, he's probably the leading candidate for the MVP. Here's the pitch to Buddy Bell. Double twos, and he scores. The run from second base, Sample, and the score is 2-1. That is RBI number 14 for Buddy Bell. Let's see the batting leaders for this tournament. RBI leaders, Buddy Bell, 1981, has his 14th. And that is the best. Pudge Rodriguez of 1994 had the most in the 90s division. But Buddy Bell clearly is an MVP candidate if the 81s can come back and win. Buddy Bell will not try to steal. He's a slow runner. Here's Al Oliver. He's batting .333. He has 7 RBIs. And he strikes out. Now we can put the brakes on Buddy Bell. Put all the restrictions on for Leon Roberts, batting 300. 1 homer, 6 RBIs. And he strikes out. So after 1 inning, 2-1, 1980. That was the score in the entire game of our first game that we had here on YouTube. Here's Honeycutt to face Rusty Staub. He is the first baseman, 323 batting average, 1 homer, 8 RBIs. And he gets a possible error. No error. 1 out. That was a ground ball to the first baseman. That was Putnam who made the play. He flubbed it, but he had lots of time because of Staub's lack of running speed. And instead of an error, it was an out. Here's Johnny Grubb, batting 258. No homers, 1 RBI. He walks. No, we're not trying to steal. Jim Sundberg, 242, 2 homers, 11 RBIs. And he gets a ground out to Buddy Bell, who goes to first. That's his only play. And Grubb goes to second with 2 out and Buddy Harrelson up. He has a 258 batting average with a homer and 5 RBIs. 343 on base, 355 slugging. 2 out situation. And a possible error. No, he's picked off. What a play by Honeycutt to wheel and pick off. Who was it? Who was that? Johnny Grubb at second base to end the 1980s second inning. Here is Putnam. He's batting 158 with a homer and 4 RBIs. He gets a possible homer. How many home runs did Pat Putnam have in 1981? Putnam had 8 in an abbreviated 1981 season. In the replay, Pat Putnam had 10 homers. So he had 8 real life, 10. Of course, I played a full season. I didn't have any strike in the replay. So that's why there's more games. So it's about the same. Let's see if he can get a home run here. 34. That is a double. But he has a chance of a home run. First gatekeeper, 11-35. He doesn't pass the first gatekeeper. Remains a double. With nobody out, here's Sundberg. He's no home runs, 4 RBIs, batting 300. Very good on base. A good slugging as well. And it's an error possibility. No error. And it's a pop out to shortstop. 1 away. Bump Wills, batting 206. Surprisingly, he has 2 homers and 7 RBIs. And he grounds out to Staub, who throws it to Jenkins, who's covering first. Putnam goes to third. Here's Mendoza. The Mendoza line is 333. And he singles with 2 out and ties the game. Mario Mendoza. The Mendoza line is now 355. Can he try to steal? Sure, why not? Doesn't get the jump. Mickey Rivers. He flew out first time up. And he flew out again. So that ends the second inning. So the 80s take a 2-0 lead in the first inning, but the 81s tie it in the second. And the score is 2-2. Here's Harrelson again. He's still on base, or still at the plate, because Grubb got picked off to end the second inning. And he strikes out. Bump Wills, who doubled and scored first time up. He flies out to right. Mickey Rivers fouls out to the first baseman. Bottom of the third, Billy Sample. He singled or doubled and scored in the first inning. And that's the worst roll you can get. 1-2. Possible error, though. And it's not an error. 1 away. Buddy Bell singled and scored a run. Well, he drove in a run in the first inning. And he grounds out to the shortstop. And that is Harrelson. Is it Harrelson? Yeah, Harrelson for the second out. Here's Al Oliver, struck out first time up. And he flies out this time. So 3 complete. We're tied at 2. Here's Buddy Bell. He homered. First time up. 2-run homer. His 4th homer, 11 RBIs in the tournament. He gets another double. Double 2. Not a home run, but it's a single. He will try to steal. Doesn't get the jump. Oliver flied out to right. He grounded to third. Buddy Bell on a slow ground ball. Buddy Bell, the other one, goes to second. Buddy Bell throws out Oliver for out number 1. Richie Zisk, ground to shortstop, still batting .421. Popped out to shortstop, 2 away. Rusty Staub, he grounded to third unassisted. And is a possible error. No, he's caught stealing again. This time he gets caught at third. That's 2-5. Sundberg to Bell, throws out. Bell trying to steal third. And the inning is over. So it's now 3.5. It's still 2-2. Leon Roberts struck out first time up. Flies out this time. Putnam grounds out. Sundberg grounds out through 4 innings. 2-2. You can see why I love this game. It's so you can just get through it. You can play a game in... If I'm really clipping, I can play a game in 5 minutes easy. If I'm clipping. Anyway, here's Honeycutt to face Rusty Staub. In the 5th inning, he's still going strong. Pops out. Johnny Grubb grounds out. That's how you can play. You know, how many games have I played? Something like 12,000 games in this game, in this project. Plus this project. It's going to be a lot more. So you can do that if you play this game. If you hate autoplay and you want to get through games fast, this is the game. It's not pretty, but who cares about prettiness? If you're, you know, a gamer, a simulation gamer, you don't really care about beauty. You care about functionality. You care about realistic output, statistics. You got it all here. This is not a paid announcement. Anyway, here's Jim Sundberg. Strikes out. So 4.5, still 2-2. Bump Wills. He ground to the first baseman first time up. He strikes him out. These pitchers are having good games. They had a shaky start, but they're definitely settled down. Here's the Mendoza line, batting .355. Double sixes for Mendoza. Guaranteed hit, 63. Gets a double. He has no home runs in the series. He had no chance of increasing it. And now the Mendoza line is .375. Maybe he can get back to .400 where he's been for most of this tournament. There's Mickey Rivers with a man on second base. Double twos, he scores! Scores Mendoza. And the 81s take the lead, 3-2. The number 2 seed is ahead. Mickey Rivers going to try to steal? Sure, why not? 46 doesn't get the jump. Billy Sample. He has doubled and scored and ground to second. 1 for 2. Flies out, runner holds. Mickey Rivers on first base, but he's a fast runner. He'll score on any extra base hit. Buddy Bell singled and drove in a run. Ground to short. 1 for 2. And look at that. Who is it? F runner to third, but if the center fielder, so Mickey Rivers throws out Mickey Rivers at third, and the inning is over. So after 5 complete innings, 1981-3, 1982. Here's Buddy Harrelson. Now, let's see. He's eligible. It's a 6th inning. He can be pulled. We've got Billy Sample, 80 version. We got Dave Roberts. He can play short, but he has more power, but less on base. And right now we need it on base. Pat Putnam, 80 version. He is decent power. Jim Norris is fast, not much of a hitter. And John Ellis is a slow-footed catcher / first baseman, and not much power there. So there's no reason to take out Buddy Harrelson at this point in time. Maybe if it's 2 out and runners on, maybe then. But in this situation, no. And, look at that. Rick Honeycutt still going strong. Takes the base hit away from Buddy Harrelson. So there's 1 away here in the 6th. Bump Wills, leadoff hitter. He's 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. And he flies out. What a performance by Honeycutt in this game. Mickey Rivers to 0 for 2. He gets double threes. He's got a home run at 11:22. Remind you, there's 2 out, so that triple isn't that great. He has more triples than home runs. He rolls a 52. That is only a single. So he's on with a single. He's a fast runner. He's going to try to steal. Doesn't get the jump. He can score an extra base hit, however. Buddy Bell, he homered and he singled but got caught stealing at third. Here's the pitch to Buddy Bell with 2 out here in the 6th. And he hits into a fielder's choice 4-6. The inning's over after 5.5. 1981-3, 1982. Here's Al Oliver for the 81s. Jenkins still going strong. Here's the pitch. This is 5-3 is one of the Most interesting rolls. Anything can happen. And it's an error. 2-base error. And it is Johnny Grubb who committed the error. And Oliver's at second base. Leon Roberts is up. Leon Roberts flied out to left. So Grubb made sure he made the play that time. Here's Pat Putnam. See if we can bring who's on the bench here. Johnny Grubb, 1981 version. He's fast. Bobby Jones. He's an outfielder. We're looking for a first baseman. Tom Poquette. Bill Stein. He's the hero of last game. He can play first base. But usually we put him in for Mendoza. Although we put Mark Wagner in for Mendoza. And put Stein in here. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring in Bill Stein. Stein is a good hitter. He's batting .400 in the tournament so far in limited at-bats. But he's just a better hitter than Putnam. Here's the pitch to Bill Stein. Struck him out. Here's Jim Sundberg with 2 out. Wants some insurance runs. And he doesn't get it. He flies out to center field. So after 6 complete, it's still 1981-3, 1982. Rick Honeycutt still going strong. Al Oliver, he's 0 for 2. And he gets a single. He's not going to try to steal. And he's a good fielder in right field. We're not going to pull him. Here's Richie Zisk. 0 for 2 today. He struggled the last couple of games. And he gets a single there. So something's going on for the 80s here in the 7th inning. And Honeycutt is tired. Now, we have to be careful here. We have to bring someone in who has not pitched yet in this tournament. Dave J. Schmidt has not played yet in this series, Matlack, of course, is a starter. So is Medich. John Henry Johnson, he played already. Fergie Jenkins, he played already. No, he didn't. We got to play him before. Yeah, and that's unfortunate because he's horrible. Charlie Huff is eligible. Danny Darwin, he's the closer, so he's eligible. Steve Comer, we put him in already, so that's good. No, he's the closer. Oh, he's the closer. So Danny Darwin, oh, he's a starting pitcher. Danny Darwin is the closer of the 80s. It's easy to get mixed up. Okay, so the only pitchers that have not seen the light of day in this tournament are Schmidt, Jenkins, and Huff. Okay, so we'd like to get Jenkins out of the way, because if we can get Jenkins out of the way, then we can, and Schmidt and Huff are good, but we can play Babcock and Butcher and all those guys again, and they are awesome. We just have to get through here. So let's see the situation. We're going to cancel this. Can we play Jenkins? We got to play Jenkins at some... This is a bad situation for Jenkins. 2 men on, nobody out. We're going to have to play someone good. So, Honeycutt, you did a good service. You're leaving with a lead. But we are going to put in Dave Schmidt. Dave Schmidt is going to have his 2nd appearance in this tournament, 1st in this series. He's only played 2/3 of an inning, or pitched 2/3 of an inning. He's coming into a tense situation. He's got the hold situation. If he can get out of this inning, it's going to be tough, though. Here's Rusty Staub. Rusty Staub's 0 for 2. We're in the heart of the lineup of the 1980s. A key play in this. This is a big roll right here in the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Cross your fingers, cross your toes. What is the roll? 2-1. Fly out. Runners hold. 1 away. Johnny Grubb. We're not going to pull him. He's 374, 427. He gets on base a lot. We can put a fast runner in for Zisk, but he might get through one more time and have an opportunity in the 9th. So I'm keeping him in. We're just going to put the brakes on him so he doesn't do something dumb. We'll put this on. We will put this. No base stealing for either one of you. And yeah, we'll put that. That's what we'll go with. Johnny Grubb. Another big roll from Dave Schmidt. What was Dave Schmidt in the replay? What did he have? Dave Schmidt. He was 4-5, 2.88 ERA, and 56 1/3 innings. So he is a good pitcher. In real life, what did Dave Schmidt do? Dave Schmidt in real life was 0-1, 313. Here's the pitch to Dave Schmidt. Struck him out! Big strikeout from Dave Schmidt. Here's Sundberg. He's clutch. Today's 0 for 2. He is due. He's got 11 RBIs. He leads the team, I'm sure. 1980s. Maybe Bell. Maybe Bell. Let's see. No, Bell has 9 RBIs, although he has 2 in the home run, so he's 11. So they're tied. Here's Sundberg. 6-1, fielder's choice. Dave Schmidt gets out of the inning. And it's still 1981-3, 1982. Fergie's still going strong. He's going to pitch to Bump Wills. Yeah, we're not going to take out Wills. His defense is too good. Here's the pitch to Wills. He gets double sixes. That's what the 80s wanted, but they didn't get it. 14, that's a single. He's going to try to steal. Ooh, it's like 50-50. I don't like stealing when it's 50-50 shot. Here's Mario Mendoza. Thank you, Mendoza. You're 0 for 2. You're batting .375, but we're going to bring in Wagner. He's just a little bit better batter. Here's the pitch to Wagner. Struck him out. Here's Mickey Rivers. And he hits in a fly out to left field. Grubb makes the play. 2 out now for Billy Sample. He is 1 for 3 with a run scored. And a possible error. Not an error. And the inning's over. Fergie gets through another inning. He's pitching well, but he's still losing 3-2. Dave Schmidt. When's the best time to put in Fergie Jenkins? He's got to face 3 batters. Dave Schmidt is still going strong. We're not going to pull him now. Buddy Harrelson needs a base runner. And he gets on with a single. Can't steal. Who can steal? Can Norris steal? Well, I should look at his card. Not really. Putnam can't steal. Can't steal. Oh, there's a lot of caught stealings on that card. He is not going to steal. There's Bump Wills. Wills is 1 for 3. Advances the runner anyway on a ground ball. The little ground balls have worked well for the 80s in this game. Mickey Rivers, 1 out. Harrelson at second base. Double threes. This looks like it's going to be a tie game. 26. It's a double. It's tied at 3. Mickey Rivers drives in the tying run at the top of the 8th. And now it's Buddy Bell. Buddy Bell once more. He has homered, singled, and hit into a fielder's choice. 2 for 3. Oh, what a key spot for Dave Schmidt. Pops out to the shortstop. Al Oliver. He is 1 for 3. He walks. Richie Zisk. 1 for 3. Possible error. 24. Inning over. But the 80s tie the game at 3. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Fergie Jenkins still going strong. Their bullpen isn't as strong as the 81s. So they want to keep Fergie in as long as possible. Struck out Bell. Oliver. Possible error. No error. Leon Roberts. And Fergie pitched 8 wonderful innings, only giving up 3 runs. And the game is tied at 3. Top of the 9th. Schmidt still going strong. Rusty Staub. Possible error. No, it's a foul out. Johnny Grubb. Another possible. No, a foul ball. Another pitch for Grubb. He strikes out. Jim Sundberg. And fouls out. And Jenkins is tired, so we are going to bring in somebody. Okay, who needs to pitch yet? Medic is the starter. He pitched last game. Matlack. Matlack's a starter. Pitched last game. Jim Kern. Kern has to pitch. He has not played in the series. John Henry Johnson. He hasn't pitched. Charlie Huff is he has pitched. Ed Figueroa. He has not pitched, and he's horrible. Danny Darwin's the closer. We established that before. Steve Comer, we got him out of the way. Ken Clay, he's pitched. He was awesome in the first game. And John Butcher, he's appeared. So, Kern, John Henry Johnson, Ed Figueroa. And Huff is pitched. So we got to get in Kern, Johnson, and Figueroa. Where are we? We're at the bottom of the lineup. We are going to get Figueroa out of the way. That's what we're going to do. This is cross your fingers, ladies and gentlemen. I like to live dangerously here. Here's Ed Figueroa. He has pitched well in this tournament. 2 innings, no runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, no record, and no ERA. He's going to face the bottom of the lineup. That's why I'm bringing him in now. Even though it's the bottom of the 9th inning. He has to face 3 batters. Stein, Sundberg, and Wills. Here's the first one. Stein. Single. Stein is not going to steal, although he is a fast runner. Sundberg. He is 0 for 3. He is due. Double play. Figueroa with that double play plus comes into play. If he had a double play minus, it would just been a fielder's choice. But he's not a great pitcher, but he gets double plays, and he does it there. Bump Wills. Double sixes. Now, thankfully for the 80s, Figueroa does not have a L, M, or N. So it's as is. No voodoo and no anti-voodoo for Ed Figueroa. 62, that is a double for Bump Wills. Okay, but he's pitched to 3 batters, so he can take him out now. And that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we have Kern. Kern has a G, that's wonderful, but he has a W. But here it's late in the late in the inning, so that W doesn't bother me all that much. Jim Kern's coming in. Jim Kern has pitched 1 inning. He has no record, but he has a 40.5 ERA in this tournament. In real life, Jim Kern was 3-1, 461 in the replay. And in the real life, Jim Kern was 3-11, 483. So he's not a slam dunk. He was their closer for a lot of years in Texas, but that was the late 80s or late 70s. In the 80s, I guess he's losing it. Mark Wagner is up. We're not going to put him on to face Rivers, no. We're not going to put on the shortstop. We're going to pitch to Wagner. Here's the pitch. If it's a base hit, this series is over. If he can get out of it, the series continues. 6-6. Mark Wagner. 32. That's a single, but he's a fast runner. The only thing, if it hits the center field, because Mickey Rivers has that 3 arm, he might throw him out. That's what he's hoping for here. No! The game is over. Let's see. Let's read this. He hit it to left field. He hit it to left field. He didn't hit it to Rivers. He hit it to Grubb. And therefore, Mark Wagner is the hero. The 1981s, the 2nd seed, are the champions of Texas. Thanks to Mark Wagner, who was brought in late in the game for Mario Mendoza. And he is the hero. And the 1981s win the Texas Championship 4-3. They are the second seed to win a tournament or championship. The other one was the Seattle Mariners. The 2nd seed was 1997. They won the Seattle Mariners championships. They have become the 2nd, the Texas Rangers. The 1980s, the 9th seed were trying to become the 2nd 9th seed to win, as the 9th seed Minnesota Twins of 1990 were the champions of Minnesota. But no, the 2nd seed are the winners, the 81s. The winning pitcher is Dave Schmidt, who pitched 3 innings. He gave up a run, so he has a blown save. However, he was effective enough, kept them in the game to get the win. The losing pitcher, Ed Figueroa. We had to put him in sometime, and he ends up with the win. Wasn't it really his fault? It was a 2-out double. Now, anybody would have given up that double. It was doubles. So it really wasn't Figueroa's fault. It wasn't the fact that he's a bad pitcher. Even if it doesn't matter who was on the mound, it would have been a double. So that is it. The Texas Championship is over. And next we go on to the Tribe. The Tribe are next. The Cleveland Indians. That's the next tournament that we will play. Stay tuned for the Cleveland Indians Championship. But this has been the Texas Rangers Championship, where the final score, once again, 1981, has 4 runs, 11 hits, no errors. They're the champions. And the runners-up, the 1980, the 9th seed, had 3 hits, 3 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. Thank you for tuning in. This is King Icky Boo signing off. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.